Okay, perfect.
Yo, 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 it's the 1409 podcast. I go by the name of KT. Welcome to episode 77. Man, we already 77 episodes in, you know what I'm saying? Got a special guest in here, Miss Dareise Jones. How you doing?
Hey everyone, so happy to be here.
Straight out of Baltimore, Maryland. She's an
Yeah,
author. She's a writer, educator, realtor,
yes,
a
some,
woman of
some,
many
yes.
many hats. You got many hats going on here. Yeah. So you doing all right this evening?
I'm doing extremely well. I'm doing very good. I'm excited about talking to you. Excited about whatever trivia question you're gonna give me.
All right. Before we get into that, we gotta do a little shot. So
Okay.
whatever you may have, let's get to it.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, you look like you want to get some more. You want to get some more.
I'll be sipping throughout.
All right, I feel you. I feel you on that. All right, we got the shout out the way. Let's go and get to the trivia. All right.
Okay.
All right. What school? What's your alma mater again?
Coppin State University in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay. And what year was that school established?
1900.
Okay, you own it. You own it. you can't prepare it. You can't prepare it. All right, so yeah,
I got it. Good.
yeah, wasn't no arguing with that. That's easy to remember too.
No,
It's a
it
nice
is.
round number.
That's what it is. It's easy to remember.
What's up, Nate Jolly? I see you in here. Vernice McClam, I see you.
Hey.
All right, we got the trivia out the way. Let's go ahead and get into what we got going on. We're gonna be
Okay.
interviewing Dareise Jones. Then we're gonna do our question of the day, and we get into a little this or that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, you want to plug anything anything you had going on before we got into the questions though?
Oh, sure, definitely. So I'm a Maryland realtor, so I can serve families, people, anyone looking to buy or sell a home. I would love to work with you. Just look me up on Instagram. I put my handle as my name here. So that's where you can find me and you can find my information. And my business page for that is Miss Jones Sells Homes. But you can find that on my main page, which is at Dareise Jones. I'm also a writer. My website is www.dareisejones.com, where you can read my blog and other things that I've written. I'm a freelance writer. So if you are looking to have a great and wonderful writer who's passionate, look me up, contact me. I'd be happy to work with you. And that's all I'm going to plug for now.
All right, I got you. So we mentioned you a graduate of Coppin State University out of
Yeah.
Baltimore, Maryland. Do you feel like your time at HBU helped you to be the person you are today? Helped mold you into that person?
Definitely, definitely. So when I was thinking about colleges to go to, I was definitely looking at Howard, Spelman. Those were like my top two. Unfortunately, I did not have the money or the grades to go to either one of those schools. That's a whole nother story. But I was working, I was a commuter student. I wanted to get into education, get into something like that, writing, anything like that. I wasn't exactly sure what my major was going to be. That's what I'm trying to say. But I knew it was going to be something with education, something that had to do with writing. And Coppin offered that. I got some really good scholarships. I paid nothing out of pocket for college. I drove back and forth. I worked the whole time that I was there, pretty much full time. And I got a chance to be a part of something wonderful in Baltimore City. We get a bad rep around the world. I travel a lot. When I go, people always ask me about the wire. And I'm like, that's just one aspect of, what's going on in Baltimore City. There's a lot of other things going on. And so being a part of an HBCU, being a part of a different narrative, was just beautiful to me. It's wonderful to me. It was definitely an emphasis on African American achievements, African American accomplishments. You know, we learned about an array of things, but our history was very important for us to delve into and get into. Not only that, I got to meet some really great authors there. I met Sonia Sanchez, sat at the same table with her, talked to her, Mary Baraka, Zane, among some others. I can't remember. Those are the three that come top of mind, but I don't know if I would have gotten that anywhere else, you know, if it was outside of an HBCU. I don't know if the value in that would have been seen to make sure that that happened on campus. So it definitely contributed to giving me a great foundation, validating me as a Black woman, and I'm very grateful for it.
That's a fact. Yeah, the HBCU. Unfortunately, I didn't go to HBCU, but sometimes I wish I did. But
where'd you go?
I went to a school named Coker University. It's in South Carolina, where I'm from. That's where I graduated from.
Okay.
And now I'm getting my master's at LSU Shreveport.
Okay, do your thing. I know that's right.
Yeah, I'm trying to get working on this MBA in finance. You know what I'm saying?
Very good.
Better late than never. I don't feel like it's late though. I'm still in my 20s. So
look, I don't think it's late if you in your 40s. I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that at all. I'm approaching my 40s. I'm not going to tell y'all how old I am. You know, I'm approaching my 40s, and I had to really deal with that, especially as a woman. You know, when women age and, you know, we get seasoned, I think society really tries to tell us that, you know, after 25, your value starts to decrease. I really feel like my value has increased as I've gotten older, you know? So I don't subscribe to that. I feel like whatever you want to do, you do it. That's your time. That's your journey.
So you appreciate over time, not depreciating.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I do. Like I'm so much wiser, you know, I'm so much better now than I was in my 20s in terms of mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of those things, you know, and I owe that to the experiences that I had at that time, you know, up until now. So that's very valuable.
Okay. All right. So you said you're trying to find your way when you was in school. What led to you deciding to be an English major?
I like to read. Like it's legit people out here who do not like to read, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm that person. I would love to crack open books and read cover to cover. I will say in the maybe past 5 years, it's been a struggle for me because I've gotten, you know, caught onto social media and everything is so quick, and it's videos and sound bites, and they're very quick. But I made a promise to myself this year to really sit down with actual books, not just Audible. I do have a couple Audible books that I'm going to listen to, but with actual books, quiet time to actually read. So once I got into school, I think I wanted to do something like computer science because I just felt like technology, you know, was something that I should know, be able to do, which it was, but once I, you know, you start getting into certain classes, it's like, I don't really like this, you know? I like reading, I like writing, I like media. I actually wish I would have done communications or journalism. But English is a really good foundation because, you know, I'm a writer. So it helps me to really have a good command of the English language. It helps you in media with speaking. All of those different things are encompassed in that. But it was really about what I like to do and what I wanted to spend my time with.
For sure. So I see you write about traveling a lot in your blog. What are some of your favorite things about traveling, like your favorite places or favorite things to do while traveling?
Okay, so I'm a foodie. And part of the reason why I was just going to do a shot of Tito's because it's like good for diets and stuff. I'm on this like lifestyle change diet right now, but I said I just can't do the straight shot. So I say all of that to say this is hard for me. This whole diet is hard for me because I absolutely love food. And I don't want to list that as the first thing, meaning that it is the primary thing. But part of why I love traveling is the culture, the people, the food, the history, all of those things. And they all intertwine with what I do. It intertwines with being an educator, with being a writer / journalist, So my favorite places, this was kind of hard for me because I will say it's probably only one place that I'm like, I probably won't go back there. And even that wasn't that bad, but I narrowed it down to two. I couldn't pick just one. So South Africa is one of my favorite places that I've been so far. It was my first time in Africa. It was in the fall of 2019 with a group of 5 other women. And we went to Johannesburg. We went to Cape Town. We went to a town of African people, Black people, like an upstart town, so to say. And that was such a great experience because, first of all, Africa is breathtaking. It's absolutely breathtaking. And I'm actually ashamed to say, when I was younger, the things I used to see on TV didn't show me that. I remember seeing the kids in Ethiopia that needed food and things like that. It was just like, oh my gosh, what's going on over there? These different negative messages, but Africa is amazing,
Mm-hmm.
The culture, just learning about the culture and the history firsthand from people, going to see Nelson Mandela's cell, talking to another political prisoner at Robben Island who works there, who did the tour with us. Like, these things are just amazing, But like I said, the biggest thing was just the beauty of it, just the mountains and the backdrop and it was so much. But the second place is Mexico. So I love Mexico. I haven't been to Mexico during the pandemic, even though that's where everybody's been going. But I've been to Mexico the most. Hi, Guala.
Hey.
How are you?
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, we just talking about our favorite places to travel and whatnot. Yeah, I saw those South Africa pictures you had on your Instagram and you provided. It's definitely looking dope out there for sure.
Oh, that's definitely somewhere I'm going back to. It took 24 hours to get there, but it was worth every hour. And a trip like that, you got to stay like 2 weeks. So we stayed about 10, 11 days, which was perfect, when you travel that way. But like I said, Mexico, I love Mexico. I love the food again, the culture, the history, the serenity. I love anywhere where there's a beautiful ocean and I can chill and relax there, but also go out and experience the people and connect with the people.
What time of the year did you go down there? I know it's like summertime there right now, right?
South Africa?
Yeah.
We went in the fall.
Okay.
It was fall here, and I feel like it was summer there.
It's like opposite since they like in the southern hemisphere. So it's spring. It was spring over there.
Look, guess what though? Because when we got to Cape Town, it was cold. So I don't know what it was. All I know is we needed some jackets and some blankets and a heater. When we were in Cape Town, like the first couple of days. But then when we went to Johannesburg, it was hot. It was definitely like 80, 85 degrees every day. Mm-hmm. So that's why I had to think about that. Like, well, what was it? Because, the different cities just had a different feel in terms of the temperature, but we were fine. We were good. It was lovely.
All right. So has the pandemic slowed you down any from going some of the places you wanted to go? Or are you still able to get out there and do what you need to do in the world, doing great things?
This is the thing, when I thought about that question, I will say the pandemic slowed me down, but not in the sense of it stopped anything, if that makes sense. Like initially it was very shocking. It was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go get toilet paper, figure this thing out, all of that. But once I kind of settled into it, I was like, oh, I like this, like time to figure out what my next move is, what I want to do. I started my blog in April and I have been talking about it for years. Like a friend of mine told me years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I had an experience with somebody else who had a blog. It wasn't a good experience. And he was like, why don't you just start your own? And I'm an overthinker. And so I was thinking about it for like 2 years. And then when we had the pandemic, it was like, well, what you gonna do? You ain't gotta go to work. You don't have any excuses. And so I just did it. I just put it out there. And I'm hoping to branch off into like what you all are doing, a podcast. I've been doing interviews and uploading those to Instagram. My next step is, working on a podcast. But no, I don't feel like it slowed me down in the sense of stopping me. It slowed me down in the sense of really understanding that I need to get started with things. I need to do things while I have the time, to do them. So
Most definitely. Yeah, I say just get out there and do it. If you want to start that podcast, just do it. Don't wait on nobody. Don't just do it.
okay.
Yeah.
So do you prefer traveling alone or do you like going on vacations?
So this is the thing. I don't think I've ever traveled alone. So my preference is there have been a couple times where I had to like meet somebody, whether it was they or whether it was, the girls trip or family. I had to meet them somewhere and I was by myself for like a few hours or maybe even a day. And I'm fine with that. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I'm going to find something to do. I'm going to explore, safely. But I do prefer to be with people when I travel. I like to share experiences with people, whether it's romantic or whether it's a girls trip, it just enhances it for me. There's nothing wrong with solo travel, but my preference is to go with people. So I'll say girls trips, vacations, that's my preference. Girls trips, we take the party on the road. Vacations, we take the romance on the road.
Take the romance in the sky.
Take it in the sky, on the road, wherever.
Hey, I feel you. You gotta get that fun in, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I see you. All right, we go switch gears a little bit. You're also an educator. What led to you becoming an educator?
So once I finished my degree in English, I was either going to go into journalism or education. And so the options that I had, the better option for me at the time, I felt like, was to go into education first. But I was also still writing on the side. So it was like I actually got to do both, but I decided that would be my main thing. They paid for my master's degree. I was working full time. Again, like I've not put out a whole lot of money for school because I've decided to take certain routes where I have programs, scholarships, whatever to pay for them. So that was a part of my decision for that as well. Coming from a low income family, I never wanted to have a whole lot of student debt, to be totally honest with you. So whoever was giving me the money, that's where I was going. And whatever else I wanted to do, I would make a way for that. And so that was part of it. But I've always liked teaching. Like as a little girl, if we played school, I was a teacher. Like I like to boss people around a little bit. I like to write on the chalkboard and, tell people what to do. And I like to help people. And so it came naturally to me. Of course, once I got into the classroom, there were things that I had to learn, but my heart for it was already there.
Mm-hmm.
What types of school have you teach that?
I've been Primarily in secondary. So that's middle schools and high schools. However, I've taught students from kindergarten to 12th grade and even like done some tutoring with college students. So I've worked with all levels over my 15-year career.
All right, so this was more in the public sector or private?
So it's been public schools. I've never worked at a private school. I've always been in public schools. And part of that, to be totally honest, I wanted to give back. Like I said, I came from a low income family. I wanted to be where students were that had the same experience as me, and that I could help uplift and show them, okay, here's somebody who comes from where you're from and made it out, and I can help you to do the same thing.
All right, I got you. So how were the students? How did they treat you in those schools?
So the first year, they gonna test you, like hard that first year, okay. But I was fortunate enough to have really great mentors, that were seasoned teachers, like all around my classroom. I vividly remember like that first day, they're like, all right, do this, do that. And I did it, And so once you do that and you establish that structure, the students will fall in line. Like, kids want structure. Kids want the adults to do what the adults are supposed to do, But I think also, like I said, being in schools where there were students who had similar experiences as me, I had a lot more compassion if they acted out, because I knew it probably wasn't coming from the fact that they didn't want to learn, or, that they wanted to disrespect me, like just outright. I knew it. I didn't take it personal, Now, don't get me wrong. I did not play. And they knew that. I didn't play. We're going to definitely have a talk. We're going to definitely call parents. We're going to do whatever we need to do to get you together. But it came from a place of love. So I was very well respected when I was in the classroom. Very, very well respected. I respected them. Of course, their kids, I had instances where they did stuff they weren't supposed to do, said things they weren't supposed to say. But by and large, it was a relationship of respect.
Yeah, I felt like the teachers that was real hard on the first day, they ended up being like the good teachers. They was like, they just had to give you that first impression, you know what I'm saying? That they don't play around, but they play around a little bit.
Exactly. You gotta start like rough, and that's what I was told. And then you can kind of pull back. Because I thought about myself when I was in school. You knew the teachers that you could play with and do whatever with, where you could even go in there and cut your other class. Like, I wasn't going to be that teacher, no, this is the culture of this firm, this is what we're doing. No, you don't have to be perfect, but no, we're not doing a bunch of foolishness.
Yeah.
What would you say is your proudest moment of being an educator?
My proudest moment is what immediately comes to mind is a young lady that I taught my first year teaching, and she was in a group home. She then went to like foster homes. I think her mom was like a drug addict. Father wasn't in the picture. She really took to me, and I took to her. Like, we had lunch every day. I became her mentor. She went through all of that and more, and still graduated. And so one of the proudest moments was when I saw her walk across that stage, knowing her backstory, knowing what it took for her to get there and what she had to overcome. That still sticks to me. And that was, 10, 15 years ago.
For sure. Did you have like male students trying to request extra credit and things like that?
Of course. and at that time, when I started teaching, I'm in my early 20s and I'm teaching high school. Like, I started in high school, so they weren't that much younger than me. Luckily, I had like 10th graders, so they were like 15. But of course, the other students see you and all of that. The thing is, you have to establish boundaries. you have to let them know it's not okay to make a pass at me. Like, I'm not a kid. It's not cool. But yeah, I had that. But I looked at them like my children, So it's like, no, you're not going to do that. Don't do it again. I have had to take some things to the principal's office because some people want to, cross the line steppers, go to the principal's office.
Habitual line steppers.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's enough teachers that look like you?
So the fact of the matter is, when you look at the data, there aren't. So it's not necessarily about how I feel. There just aren't a lot of Black and brown men and women going into the education field, for whatever reasons. And I really thought about that. I didn't do a whole lot of research on it. I just kind of went off of what I think it may be. The first thing is the pay. Everybody knows that teachers don't really get paid enough. So if you're going to college and you're getting a degree, you want a degree in something that's going to make you a lot of money so you can do certain things for your family, especially if you don't have the heart for teaching. But even some people who do have it, it's not enough. Or there aren't enough resources. Not only that, I don't know the stats or anything, but I don't know what the numbers are in terms of Black and brown people who want to be teachers who are actually going to school, because you need a degree for it, or you at least need to have some experience, some extensive experience in your field. So I think those are, some of the things, whereas, to be honest with you, the highest number of teachers that you're going to see in classrooms across the country are white women, and I'm not saying that to knock anybody. I've worked with teachers from all walks of life, ones who really care, really have a passion for it, and some people who just want a paycheck, But the fact of the matter is, a lot of white women, it's like expected for them to become a teacher because their parents were educators, or like me, when I was little, this is what I really wanted to do. And I was like, okay with, all right, I'm only going to be making this much, but then I can do this, that, and the other. But a lot of people are not okay with that. And then you have to deal with a lot. So if your patience is thin in certain schools, you are not going to make it. But I do wish that there were more Black and brown men and women, especially in schools where you have more of that demographic, because students need to see themselves in their teachers. I'm not saying all of your teachers have to be that way. I honestly don't believe that, because the world is not like that. You got to deal with all different kinds of people. But you have some students who come up, they don't see a Black teacher till they get to high school. I just, that doesn't sit right with me. And I definitely wish things were different, because representation really does matter.
Right. So you moved up to administrative positions like principal and things like that. How long did it take you to move up to that level in education?
I was probably teaching, and then I used to train teachers. I'm going to say about 6 or 7 years. I could have done it sooner, but again, I'm an overthinker. So it was like, no, let me do this before I go there. Let me do that, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with the journey that, I've taken. But it took me about 6 or 7 years before I decided to take that step and to get into a leadership position.
Okay, you enjoyed the leadership position more or the teaching position?
So they both have their pros and cons. When you are in a leadership position, of course, you're responsible for all of the kids, but you also have a very flexible schedule. You don't have like a class at this time, this, that, and the other. You set your own schedule, which I really, really like. I love that. But it's also sometimes difficult to really build the relationships that you want to build, because you don't see the students every day, or you don't, have interactions with them all the time like you do in a classroom. So sometimes I found myself missing that. You see your students every day or every other day throughout a whole school year. You know them, they know you. Whereas, there were a lot of kids, of course, I know their faces, but I might not know their names so I wouldn't say I like one better than the other. They had different things that I liked and disliked about them.
Okay, I got you. So you feel like you having an English background, do you think that influenced some of your students to become writers or anything like that?
Oh, definitely. I've had students tell me that, I influenced them to become writers or poets, anything with like the humanities, media, different things like that we did in my classroom. So I know that I've had not a whole lot, but some who I could tell when I was their teacher that they were really interested in it. The kids who are interested in your subject are the ones who aren't. So it was typically those ones who were interested in English.
All right. So you mentioned pros and cons, and then you mentioned that you were a freelance writer. So what are the pros and cons of being a freelance writer?
Oh, Lord. So I took the look. I got to look at my notes. I wrote that down. So definitely, I'm going to start with the pros. I started taking that journey maybe about a year ago of like really working to get jobs, working to get paid, making it a thing. And I love the freedom of it. It's you're an entrepreneur. You are free to set your schedule, do what you want, pick what you want, and I love that. I think it's the Aquarius in me. I don't like to be like tied down or I gotta do this, I got it. No, I want to do what I want to do. So it gives me that freedom. But there's a lot of rejection in it, in terms of you're pitching to different newspapers or magazines or blogs, and it might not always work out. So it's a lot of rejection in it. There is, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Look, I gotta look at my notes. Y'all ain't got me taking these shots, and now I can't keep up with my notes. So another thing I love about it is just connecting with different people. So I'm very much an ambivert. So I love being out and about. Before the pandemic, I was a socialite in Baltimore, like going to all the parties and different stuff like that. But when I want to be left alone, I want to be left alone. I need equally, both of them to be in my little corner, chilling, recharging, and to go out and have a good time. So I say all of that to say, as a freelance writer, you're meeting a lot of different people, which I love that. I love learning from people. And then one of the cons is it's a solo job. And that's something else that I found that I kind of miss. You have to create your coworkers. You got to find a writing community. You have to find, other people who are doing what you're doing, because you don't go into an office every day per se, depending on what kind of job that you had. So those are, the things that I like and the things that I don't like about being a freelance writer.
All right. Well put, madam. Well put. Yeah. So, where were we? That was such a complex question. I forgot where we was at.
You had too many shots.
Yeah. Okay. So since you're a freelance writer, would you have any limitations, like for companies you'll work for? Or
I'm very much, I take it to my life philosophy. And I don't mean to be so, out there with it, but honestly, I've decided there are just certain things I'm going to do and certain things that I'm not going to do. And what I mean by that is I'm not putting energy into something that's not aligned with my goals or my mission. You know what I'm saying? Just to get a check or get notoriety or whatever. I'm not really interested in that unless it's doing the things that I want it to do. And I have to be authentic. I can't do something that's not aligned with, I I'm really big on like empowerment, positive things, helping other people to grow, helping myself to grow, things like that. And if it's not really with that, if I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to do it. So I don't necessarily call it a limitation. I actually think that it's an act of self-care to know that this doesn't align with my highest self or with what I want to put out into the world and give to other people and give to myself. And so I won't do it.
So your limitation is going against your morals.
I wouldn't even necessarily say morals, because I mean, I'll write about, I don't want to say almost anything, but it just has to be something that's just aligned with what I think is going to give something to people. It can't be asinine. It can't be, just, I can't think of like a specific thing, but I do know that when it comes across my desk, I might have to say no, or, here's a person that I can refer you to for that. I'm just really big on energy. I'm really big on alignment. And I know things that are aligned with who I am and what my missions are. And I know the things that aren't. And that doesn't mean they're bad things. It's not for me.
Facts. So, what companies what platforms are you currently writing for all the listeners and viewers out there?
So I have my blog, as you can see on the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with the Baltimore Times, which is a newspaper here in Baltimore, dedicated to telling positive stories about African Americans.
Facts.
I have some other things in the works as well. But since I've been with the Times and, doing other things and having other ventures, I honestly didn't have a lot of time to, really be writing for other people, but that has changed. So some things that are, going to come forth this year that you'll see from me.
All right. We got any advice for freelance writers?
First of all, I love how everybody could see the question. I did not know that. Everybody could see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So advice. That's a good question. Advice I would give to freelance writers is get mentors. Get mentors. I think that's very important. That's something I did not do when I got back into the field. So I was in education for a really, really long time, kind of writing on the side. And then I wasn't really writing at all in terms of like publishing. I would write my journal, write my little poems, stuff for myself, but I wasn't publishing. But I think in anything that you are doing, you need other people who've already been through it to help you as you go along. And so when I got back into freelancing in 2017, I was just like, I'm ready to write again. And so I just started doing it. And then last year I was like, you know what? I don't know this, so I don't know that. Like once I really started saying, you know what, I'm going to make this like another part of my career and my journey, I said, I need mentors. So I started reaching out to people. I started DMing, people who had been in the business for a really long time, who had done things that I wanted to do. I didn't connect with everybody, but I connected with some people. So I would say that's the main thing, is to get mentors, do your research, use your platforms. One of the best pieces of advice I got, we talked about earlier, KT, where I said, my friend told me to start my own blog. Like, we are in such a great place right now. You don't need to go to this magazine or that magazine or this newspaper or whatever. You can start your own. You can make your own platform, but that platform is also your portfolio. So be mindful of that. That's actually what you're going to send to. And I've sent, my blog to different publishers, different magazines and everything, but I make sure that my blog posts are aligned with whatever it is that they have in their magazine, they have in their newspaper, so that it shows, okay, I can write like this. I can have this voice, this tone, whatever. So those are the main things. Mentors, using your platform to create your portfolio. I would say those are the main two things that advice that I would give. And then joining a writing community. So now it's 3. Joining a writing community because you get feedback. I'm in a wonderful writing community called C. Jane Write, and we have critique sessions. I haven't taken advantage of it yet. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, but I think it's great. I'm gonna get into it. I got a lot going on. But we have, I'll tell you the truth. We have goal setting. Like, it's just so much different courses of things that you just don't know because maybe you don't have a degree in it. You know, you're a writer. You don't know the business side of it, you know, different things like that. So community, mentors, and what was the last thing I said? Y'all wasn't listening.
I was listening. You said community, mentors, and you got writing groups.
Thank you. That was a text.
So was it Facebook groups or you said C. Jane Wright? So was it like
we're on Facebook. It's a Facebook group, but it's also on Instagram. Yes, it's called C. Jane Wright. I love it.
All right, so y'all just submit the writing as a post and people critique it like that, or?
Oh, Nate said I'm his mentor. Okay, Nate, reach out.
All right, yeah. All right, Nate, you see a social media right there on the bottom of the screen. You already know what to do with it. Yeah. So yeah, Facebook group. All right, C. Jane Wright, Facebook group. So
can anybody join or?
I believe so. It's mostly women though. Like, I don't know if there's any men. If there aren't any men in there, so it's a women's group.
All right, so it need to be one called C. Joe Wright.
And C. Joe Wright.
C. John Wright.
I gotta shout out my other community, and I didn't think of it right away because it's a creative community. So I have another community on Instagram called Women Creatives Chat. Okay, so that's Women Creatives Chat, and I didn't think of it right away because we were talking about writing, and there are all types of creatives in that group, and that's wonderful as well, and I love that as well. It's important to have a tribe. It's important to have a community. Like, none of us do this alone, so you have to have that.
Mm-hmm. Gotta have that second opinion on your right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah, have somebody look at that thing like, nah, you need to do this, you need to do that.
Or they could say it's amazing.
Yeah, they could say it's amazing too, but you like to have, if somebody feel like something something's not right, you like to get that honesty to it as well.
Yes, you need that.
Most definitely. So you're a writer, freelance writer, educator. You also a realtor. So
I'm also a realtor, yes.
How'd you get into real estate?
So I got into real estate about 4 or 5 years ago while I was still an assistant principal. And part of it was because I wanted to do something different. I had been in education at that point for maybe like 12 or 13 years. No, my math is wrong, but for a long time. And real estate had always appealed to me, but it was just like, I'm doing this education thing, like this is what I do. But that was like a really good turning point for me to say, okay, you have other talents, you have other passions, like go for it. So I went for it, but it didn't really work with my daytime work schedule. Like, I was in a school that required a lot of me. Loved the school, but it was a lot. And so I stepped away from real estate for a while. And then I recently got back into it last year because with the pandemic and everything happening, you know, and having that time to think, it was like, okay, what are the things that I want to do? What are these different things? We talk about multiple streams of income, and it's essential, you know, if you can do it. And so I was like, let me get back into real estate. And then one of my good girlfriends really encouraged me to do it. She's an investor. She was like, I'm about to, you know, get a house and rehab it. I want you to be my realtor. You know, you're professional. You know, you love helping people. And so that's what really prompted that.
All right. And you licensed in Maryland, or are you licensed in other states or anything?
Right now, I'm licensed in Maryland. Yes.
All right. You plan on getting like Delaware, anything in the future? Some neighboring states?
Delaware, the whole DMV. The whole DMV. It's a package deal. I just got the first part of the package.
All right. You got to get where you at first. I feel you.
Yeah.
All right. So how successful has real estate been in your area lately?
Real estate is very successful right now, especially for sellers. It's a seller's market right now. Interest rates are low, so people, they want to buy. They're getting these lower interest rate loans for their mortgages, but inventory is not as high. And so you have like multiple offers on, one house. It's very competitive. You have to be very patient, especially if you are a buyer right now. I can only speak for where I am. But yeah, so that's how it's going. It's going, even in the pandemic, it is going.
All right.
So out of being a writer, a realtor, and a teacher, which one did you enjoy most?
I can't pick one. I'm not that type of person to be picking stuff. So y'all had a couple questions like that. I was like, no, I love them all. I love them all. And they all kind of like go together in a way. And what I mean by that is in each one of those things, I get to help people. I get to give knowledge. I get to provide guidance and professionalism and encouragement, inspiration, all of those things as a realtor, as a writer, and as an educator. So I can't pick one, What I'll say, the word that really stuck out to me in that is the word enjoy. So anything that I'm doing, I don't enjoy it if I'm not able to be creative, if I'm not able to have some type of flexibility and freedom. And again, like I said, that's probably the Aquarius in me, which I don't mind, but I have to be able to kind of like, put things together, make things how I want. That's what I love doing as a teacher, like fixing up the classroom, taking the lesson plan and, thinking about my students and tailoring it for them, even as a realtor, now, you really have to be in touch with technology, which I really enjoy. And me creating my website and creating my blog helps me to create my website and my blog for real estate, which I'm working on now. So I have to be able to be creative. Like that's a non-negotiable.
All right. So which one consumes the most of your time? Real estate, writing, or education?
Right now it's real estate and writing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real estate and writing. Those are things that I'm really building right now.
All right, I got you. And I know you're going to be successful in each and everything that you do for sure. So we don't doubt you at all. We encourage you. We're going to uplift you.
I appreciate that. I felt that. Thank you.
Already, you gotta speak it into them, you know what I'm saying? All right, so you mentioned writing groups and everything like that. That's kind of like networking. So how important is networking to you?
Networking it's very important. It's one of those things that I didn't realize the importance of it until I want to say maybe like when I was working on my master's degree, because I'm very much like I'm going to do it myself type person. And I've had to grow out of that. I've not done anything that I've done on my own. I've had, yes, I wrote the papers or I did the work and all of that, but I had people encouraging me. I had people supporting me. I had people giving me information and resources. But a lot of times I didn't necessarily strategically seek those things out, but I realized that I needed to. And then I needed to be that for other people as well. because you can have all of the degrees in the world, but you can also have somebody who doesn't have degrees, but they know people that can get them into the places that they want to be, you know? So it's like, you need it. You absolutely need it. And whether you get it passively, somebody knowing somebody, or you get it, you know, maybe in your own way, I don't want to say aggressively, but you kind of go out and get it. It's really essential. And in the past few years, I've been learning the art of being a lot more aggressive, taking more initiative with networking, because, and I'll say specifically with writing, I've had to reach out to a number of writers, especially during the pandemic, because I can't be out and about. When I was out and about, I would talk to people all the time, make connections and things like that. But now it's like, no, I got to DM them or email them or whatever, schedule a Zoom call. And I made it a point to myself that whatever I pursue, if I feel like there's something that I don't know and I feel like another person knows it, I'm going to try. I'm going to reach out to them to get that information instead of trying to figure it out myself. I mean, I spent a lot of time trying to do things on my own because I thought I had to, you know, but you don't have to. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, you know. I can't remember the exact quote, but it's like such and such crawled so you could walk. And that's real. So it's like, walk. I had to tell myself, like, no, you know, your ancestors did this, that, and the other. So now you got to plug into the resources that they, you know, set up for you to have. And that's people, you know, people are the resources. So you have to really connect to get to certain places.
Yeah, work smarter, not harder. That's another way to put it right there.
Exactly. Look, that's the writer in me. I just be wanting to say a long sentence.
No, we like the long sentences too. We like
basically work smarter, not harder.
We like to hear it in your words. You know what I'm saying? All right. Speaking of your own words, in your own words, what's your favorite episode of the 1409 podcast besides the one you're on right now?
Besides the one I'm on right now, this is number one. So I've listened to quite a few, you know, since you all reached out to me back in, I want to say it's like mid-December. And it's two that stick out to me. I can't pick just one. I'm a nonconformist, as you can see. If you give me options, I'm gonna tell you all of them or none. So it's two. Episode 67, when you all interviewed the A Little Kiss and Tell podcast host, I really enjoyed that. Again, I'm like really big on energy. I love the different topics that you all, you know, were talking about. It was fun, natural, carefree, interesting.
You did the audio or the video?
I listened to the video.
Okay.
Yeah, I listened to the video. And then your most recent one, I really enjoyed that with, I think it's Taria.
Yeah, Taria.
Taria Vision Avant. I enjoyed that. Like I love personal development, empowerment, manifestation, all of those things. So I really enjoyed that conversation and all of the information that she provided.
Yeah, she definitely has some knowledge up there for sure.
Yes.
And she's a writer as well.
Yes, I saw that. Oh, and she's really good with the marketing. Look, I done wrote down all her information. I'm like, I gotta learn from her. She was plugging that stuff in.
Yeah, tap in with her. Tap in with her for sure.
I loved it.
All right, who would you like to see on here next?
I don't know.
Had to throw a curveball in there.
Look, and I went like this.
You could say like the most famous person you know. We might get them on here. You never know.
I ain't even try to catch it. That is a good. Let me think about that and get back to you, because I do know some amazing, wonderful people. But I gotta think and write down a list.
All right.
I'm gonna whole list.
All right, we'll take it. Okay. You got that question today, Mr. GualaMeetsWorld?
Yeah. If you can know the truth behind every conspiracy, but you would instantly die if you hinted or told those truths, would you want to know?
Nah.
Hell no.
I like to talk. No. I can't wait to tell my people that I have good conversation. I like to have conversations. And so if I know that, no. Oh, I got to talk about it to somebody. Some money got to come with it though. Like why gotta be I know everything or I die if I tell somebody.
No, you don't want to die a martyr?
No, I sure don't. Not for that. That's not going to be my martyrdom. Not on the truth. No, because it's like, well, you would help. See, now it just, nah, I'm going to still go with no. Because I want to talk about it. I'm sorry. I want to talk about it.
You know what? Them secrets safe with me. I'm just like pages in a diary.
Oh, good for you.
You're Alicia Keys, huh?
No, but look, knowledge is power, though.
It is.
So I definitely would want to know.
Yeah. But would you just keep it a secret? Well, you kind of just said that you would. I couldn't hold it. I wouldn't be able to hold it. No.
Yeah, some of that. Some of that being kind of crazy. You'd be like, yeah.
No,
I don't know, man.
I don't know. They say that's why Kanye went crazy.
I don't even want to get into that. I'm gonna pray for him.
All right. Good question today, per the usual. All right, so this or that.
Okay. So now I gotta pick. I will pick one, not both. Maybe.
All right. You like travel and all that shit like that. So window seat or aisle seat?
Window seat.
Okay, Erykah Badu.
Yeah. Can I get a window seat?
Oh yeah, you sing too, don't you? You sing.
I might need to go with you. I heard the vocals.
You try to set up that feature, huh?
Yeah, I need to set up a feature.
Don't play. I'll be right up on there.
All right.
A little bit. But yeah, I like to take pictures. I like to see the clouds. Especially if I'm going to an island, I want to do a little video where you get that aerial shot. Mm-hmm. I love that. I gotta be in. I put my little pillow up there, and I'm good. And I try not to drink anything, so I won't have to go to the bathroom because I don't want to. Depending on what plane you're on, I'm not trying to step all over top of people and stuff.
You're trying to get through.
Yeah. They gotta get their ass out the way.
If they do. But for the most part, like, of course, if I'm on like a 12-hour flight, I'm gonna get up. But if it's like a 2-hour or something like that, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna look out the window. I'm gonna go to sleep. And get my good shots, my photos, my videos.
All right, the good Tito's. All right. So
I ain't fooling with y'all. I shouldn't have never did that to myself.
Beach view or city view? I mean, ocean view or city view? I should say it like that.
Ocean view.
Ocean.
I love the water. I love the sound of it. I love the how it looks. I love being in it. The next thing I want to do when I go somewhere with beautiful water is learn how to scuba dive. I haven't done that yet.
You want to swim with the fishes? I don't know about that.
Yes, why not? Mm-mm. Oh, it's a whole other world under there that I just need to see.
Okay. 95% of it is unexplored.
Well, I'm not going to that part.
Something from that part might come to you.
Yeah, that's true.
You trying to go that deep.
Well, look, I can't let that stop me. I'm gonna be out there. I've done like snorkeling. I've snorkeled with some little punk sharks. I can't even say them. They were like, "You're gonna snorkel with the sharks and the what are the little things? The
dolphins,
the little rays, not the dolphins, the stingrays. but they took the little stinger off of them, thank God. And then the sharks were like tiny. I did that in, I want to say like the DR. It was really fun though. And I enjoyed it.
Oh, you were swimming with them shark tail sharks.
Yeah. Baby shark. Yeah, I was like, okay, y'all.
Man, that video got like 8 billion views on YouTube.
8 billion. My niece loves it.
Shit, #1 on YouTube, I think. All right. Any other this or that y'all got?
Any what?
Are there any more this or that's?
Oh.
What you drinking?
I had Tito's and orange juice.
Tito's and orange juice. You like white liquor or brown liquor?
Both of them.
Put them in there. Put them in there. Put them in there.
Depending on the occasion.
Okay. Hennessy or Douce?
Now that is a good question. I'm going to go with Douce.
I'm on that Hindouce.
Mix them all together.
Yeah, that Hindouce. Nah. What about you, KT?
Henny or Douce? I gotta go with Henny, but you know that Douce smooth now. But you know, we grew up on that Henny though. So
grew up on the Henny.
I don't have anything against Henny. Every time I go to wherever they got the white Henny, I'm bringing a couple bottles home. So, but if I had to pick, you know, I do like smoother things. That's why I didn't take a shot. I made a cocktail because I can't do it.
Yeah, you being a lit.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any more this or that. Let's see.
Oh, tattoos or piercing? I noticed you got a tattoo.
Tattoos. Yeah, piercing has never really been my thing, but I have 3 tattoos. I just got this one. I was showing KT.
Some tribal.
Yes, it's kind of like a mandala. It's a lot going on, but I like it. I'm gonna add on to it probably in a couple months. I just got it in November, but I love body art.
All right.
Oh, you like so you like being in the nude. You like body art.
I did not say that.
That's body art though. Like
no,
that's
it's
the
not.
art of that's the art of the body.
I said I like tattoos.
You like being in the nude.
What you drinking?
Hey, you know what Bernie Mac said? You was in Africa, and the women be walking around buck naked.
You know what? I can't do it.
You seen anybody walk around buck naked?
I did not. We didn't go anywhere where we would see like any tribes or anything like that.
No nude beaches, none of that.
I've been to nude beaches before. Where did I go to a nude beach? I want to say like the DR, Jamaica.
All right, was it worth the hype or not worth the hype? Let's see.
No, and that's the thing. I think it's really an American thing where it's like, oh my gosh, and then no, that's not a big deal.
So it's just normal. It's just normal business around there, I guess.
Yeah. Now I ain't saying I did all of that. I just said I was there to see. I was just like your asking me about it.
Because you like body art, right? You was at a nude beach because you like body art.
No.
Yeah, they had I was in Vegas. They had like a European style pool party, they call it. So there's like topless out there, but it wasn't really nothing special. It wasn't really nothing special.
You see everything in Vegas. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I guess it's legal over there. This different world out there, out west.
Yeah.
All right. So, any more this or that, or we gonna go ahead and wrap this up? You got a this or that for us, Miss Dareise Jones? Miss Jones?
Let's see. Let me think.
Principal Jones.
Oh Lord. This or that for y'all. I have to come up off.
Yeah, we be making those.
Okay. Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
That's a good one. I'm gonna say Kendrick though. I need to hear an album from him though. He's like MIA right now. I need to hear an album.
He didn't drop nothing since damn. So damn. Well, you went with Kendrick Lamar, so I'm gonna have to go with Drake.
You're gonna have
even though Kendrick Lamar is a fellow Gemini like us.
Y'all Geminis.
Yeah.
We all family though. I'm an air
Nate say Drake content toxic.
It's toxic.
I don't think so.
Drake have you in your feelings, man.
Yeah, he will
have me in my feelings.
He will definitely have you in your feelings. All right. I'm a big music lover, so I'm gonna stick there. Nicki Minaj or Cardi B?
Shit. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj. Yeah.
You say Nicki?
Yeah, I said.
No, Guala don't want to go with that.
No, as far as like content, Nicki.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as the lyrical shit, I'll go with Nicki. I got one for you, Mr. Dareise Jones, and everybody else up in here. Gucci or Jeezy? See where your head at.
That's hard. I like them both. But if I have to pick, I think I'll say Gucci.
Hey, okay.
Gucci.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Since we talking about music, Brent Faiyaz or The Weeknd?
Who?
You never heard that?
You never heard of Brent Faiyaz?
Yeah, he from Maryland, isn't it? Well, you gotta listen to his music when you get off of here.
What's his name again?
Brent Faiyaz.
Brent Faiyaz.
So it's Faiyaz or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't heard Brent Faiyaz. So you gotta give me another one because I can't pick between them because I don't know that one.
All right. The Weeknd or you remember the American Dream? The Dream?
The Dream?
Yeah.
I said the American Dream.
He said that in the song.
Those are kind of like two different genres, but that's
Really?
I'll go with The Dream.
I'm going with The Weeknd.
I'm going with The Dream. The Dream was fire, man.
I'm going with
that was like a nice little era.
You remember the song, The Falsetto?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The Weeknd.
But I like The Weeknd too.
You seen his body art? His new body art?
Are you talking about his body art or the stuff he had on his face?
His new body art. He had plastic surgery.
I don't think it's real. Is it real?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They said it might be, it might not be. I guess we'll find out in due time. He gonna perform at the Super Bowl, I think. So we'll find out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't like it. To answer your question, I don't like it. It looks weird, like he had bad plastic surgery. But he's eccentric like that, you know. So it's not surprising to me, but I don't think it's real.
He looked like Jim Carrey on the Mask.
On the Mask, he does. Without the green paint.
Yeah, man, he tripping with that one. But yeah, I seen him perform in real life, so that's another reason I go with The Weeknd over The Dream. I haven't seen The Dream perform, so yeah, that's that.
You heard that song with The Dream and Rick Ross?
I have not heard that. No.
Oh, man.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, my main genres of music that I love: R&B, old school, soul, funk, stuff like that. Rap, and even hip hop, but rap, not so much. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
Like I appreciate it, but in terms of what I listen to the most, it would be the genres that I talked about before. And I think that's because that's kind of like what I grew up on. I did grow up singing in the church choir, stuff like that. So I'm really drawn to those things. When you talk about rap, to be totally honest with you, the people that I like the most have really good poetry that speaks to like the writer in me, like their lyrics and stuff like that. So I only say that because if y'all keep throwing these rappers out here, I don't know what to tell you. Because I probably have a limited, amount of music that I've heard from them.
I got a funk one for you.
Okay.
Lakeside or Zappin' Roger?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Zappin' Roger.
Zappin' Roger.
And I can't even think of, I know who both of them are, but I can't even think of a song by either one of them. But I feel like Zappin' Roger is the one.
Zappin' Roger, Computer Love.
That's
like one of their biggest. Yeah.
And what about Lakeside?
Fantastic Voyage. One of their top hits. Fantastic Voyage.
I'm going to still go with Computer Love.
I got to go with Lakeside because that's where the vocalizers and all that started from.
You're right.
All right. The Gap Band or Isley Brothers?
Isley Brothers. That's hard. That's a hard one, though. Because Charlie Wilson,
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. But when I think about the Isley Brothers songs, Lord, I mean, it's a whole journey you taking. That's a hard. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't want to choose.
I gotta go with the Gap Band, man.
I'm going with the Gap Band.
Yeah. All right. We can go.
Ryan Isley sound the same on every song.
Look, that's
wow.
Look, so do Michael Jackson.
All right. All right, go ahead and plug in what you got going on once again before we go ahead and
Okay. So you can check me out on www.DareiseJones.com and on Instagram at Dareise Jones for all things writing, education, and real estate.
All right. Yeah, make sure y'all tap in with her, follow her on IG, like she said, like the woman said, follow on Instagram. Go to DareiseJones.com.
Follow 1409.
Yeah, make sure you tap into 1409 episode 77 with Dareise Jones. And you can follow us on Instagram at 1409 podcast, Cash App, $ 1409 podcast. All right. And you can follow me on Instagram at 843 Ambassador. You know what I'm saying?
You can follow me, your boy GualaMeetsWorld on IG at GualaMeetsWorld. You check my music out on the major streaming platforms.
All right.
Facts. Scrooge video out now.
Yeah.
Gemini Media. Mm-hmm. All right. It's the 1409 podcast, and we out.
Peace.